Let's be honest, everyone wants to sell their home for the most amount of money possible. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at Zillow Showcase, why my team uses it, and how it could help you make more money on the sale of your next home. What is Zillow Showcase? Zillow Showcase is Zillow's premium home listing tool. It highlights your home using high-resolution photography, a photo walkthrough guide, AI-powered placement in the buyer's feeds, and it also gives you exclusive placement on the Zillow search results. Essentially what it does is it gives you more promotion towards serious buyers on the Zillow platform. How much does this cost? Typically this will cost between $500 and $750. If you work with a full service team like mine, typically we will include this in our listing fee. Some solo agents, or if they're not part of a team, they may charge you additional money on top of their regular listing fee in order to do this. Now you have to think, $500 to $750 may sound like a lot. However, at less than 0.25% of the price of a $375,000 home, you could actually get a huge return on your investment. Now, one thing to think about when you're choosing someone to list your home for you is that not everyone has access to this feature. My team has been working with Zillow for the past decade, and we have over 2,400 transactions. It's this relationship that has enabled us to be one of the first teams in our market to be able to provide this wonderful feature towards our clients. And seeing as millions upon millions of Americans find their home on Zillow, you're going to be getting great exposure to the people who are going to be buying your property. Now, on top of it not being available to all agents, there is also a limit on what percentage of properties are able to be a showcase listing. Zillow has said only up to 10% of listings on their platform will be able to be showcased. Currently, it's around 1%, which means if you are opting for it, you're really standing out from the rest of the crowd. And how does it work? Now, Zillow is a for-profit company, so by investing in Showcase and paying them additional money, you are going to be able to leapfrog over those who may not be using this feature. Typically, a Zillow Showcase listing is getting around 60% more views, 40% more saves, and up to 20% more showings. This means you have the potential to have more qualified buyers looking at your property, coming through your property, and ultimately writing an offer for you. Zillow is claiming that Showcase listings are selling for 2% more than those which aren't. This means in Lancaster, where the average home price is around $350,000, you could be netting $7,000 more. Now, how could this benefit you in the real world? Let's say you had a solo agent who was charging you 4% for a listing, and you had a full service team like mine charging you 6%, but they're going to enable you to have the Zillow Showcase. I'm going to use an example of a $375,000 home. So on one side, we have a solo agent. They're charging you 4%. There's no Zillow Showcase. Your property is on the market for a couple of weeks. It sells for slightly under list price at $368,000. This is going to leave you with a net of $353,000. Now, if we take a full service team working with Zillow and Zillow Showcase, it's a 6% listing. The showcase fee is included. And we managed to get a couple of offers selling in a shorter period of time for more money. So $380,000, let's say. This means that even though the commission charge is higher, you actually end up netting more money in your back pocket by about $4,000. So yes, the commission may be higher, but overall you're taking home more money. Also, if you're on a bit of a time crunch and you have to get out of your property, being able to sell a property quicker could be a huge advantage to you. Now we're going to take a quick look at what the Zillow Showcase looks like compared to a conventional listing, and we're going to do it on both desktop and on the phone. So here we are on the desktop site, and on the right-hand side, we have the properties in this particular area. If you look to your left, you can see here the showcase listing. So when you have a showcase listing, it's highlighted with this kind of little star and a showcase. And typically, when you list a new property, you'll have a little new icon, and that tends to stay up for about 24 hours after a property is listed. The showcase one is going to stay up there for the entire time. And of course, we want your property to be right at the top, first option that people see when they're searching for a home. If we look at a non-showcase listing, you have the typical photos at the top here, information, and then if you're having things like an open house, it doesn't necessarily promote it in the best way. You're going to have to really scroll down through all of this information to be able to find out where the open house is. Whereas if we click on a showcase listing, you can see here we have this kind of more dynamic opening screen, and it kind of phases through, so more attention grabbing. We also have the listing agent's information at the top here. So what can also be good about that is that buyers may contact your listing agent directly, which could give you more control over the whole transaction. You also get this interactive floor plan, so you can click on it, you can jump to various areas of the house, and this again gives your buyers an opportunity to be able to kind of almost walk through it. I have some clients who looked at purchasing a property from out of state, and they really found it useful when properties had this walkthrough function, so they can really get a feel for the flow of the property. And if we pull it up on iPhone, similarly, we have the kind of showcase icon here. When you click on it, you have the initial front picture, but when you go into the listing, Again, you have this kind of dynamic picture at the front. Scroll through, and you have the kind of interactive floor plans and even a 3D home tour on this particular one. So again, you can kind of go through each room, get a nice flow for the property. And for this feature, you have to be using Zillow Showcase. So as you can see, there are a couple of differences between the Showcase option and the non-Showcase. These enable you to get more traffic through to your property. And like I say, the more traffic you get, the more eyes, the more chance of getting people in the door, which can lead to more offers and ultimately more money in your back pocket. This is a listing that I had earlier this year. We put it on the market for $375,000. We went on market on Thursday. By Monday morning, we had 2 offers, and we actually ended up selling for $388,000, $13,000 over our list price. Now, remember, who you're hiring to list your home matters. You don't just want an agent who's going to slap it up on Zillow, hope people come in through the door. You want someone who's going to negotiate on your behalf and someone who's going to market your property properly. Showcase is a wonderful tool to help you do that. Ultimately, as the market gets more and more competitive, sellers are looking increasingly for ways to make them stand out from the rest. If you're serious about trying to get top dollar, try and find yourself a full service team like mine that has access to tools like Zillow Showcase, someone who's going to be able to negotiate on your behalf as well as market your property to as many people as possible. If you're thinking of selling your home in Lancaster or York, Pennsylvania, click the link in the description below, and let's find the best path to help you sell your home.